Hello and welcome each and all to the Lady Boss Show. I'm Janise Smith and it brings me great pleasure to be your host. And I'm so glad you tuned in to the Lady Boss TV 1 channel. Today on the show, we are talking to Shelley Jarrett, creator and producer of What About Us? It's a film that is produced to capture heartfelt stories of 8 women representing 5 major cultural backgrounds. Now, all these stories, they stem from the Me Too movement. So we're going to talk to Shelley and hear her story and peel away at some of the layers about What About Us, the documentary. So ladies, and the men who love us, sit back, grab your favorite cup of joe, and spend a little time with me. And when we come back, Shelley Jarrett will be joining us. Welcome back to the Lady Boss Show. And just as I promised, joining me is Shelley Jarrett. She is the producer and the creator of What About Us? Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, I'm so glad you came, and this documentary has really tweaked my interest,
Yes.
especially in today with this Me Too and all what's going on in this world.
Right.
How did this come to be? What made you decide to do a great documentary like this?
Right. Well, first of all, just to take you back a little bit, as you know, I am a magazine publisher.
Yes.
So after this Me Too went viral, after Oprah Winfrey did her famous speech about the Me Too and it went viral, I thought when I heard about who was involved and how it came about, because before then I did not know too much about it or heard much about it. But then I realized they talked a lot about the women, white women in the entertainment industry, in the political arena, you know, high profile people. And then I thought, well, what about us? These things are happening in our communities, in our churches,
world. Yeah.
in the school system, in the environment, everywhere, even at home. And so I thought, well, nobody's looking at our communities. There's things happening here. We need to have a voice to say, well, this is more of a societal problem. It's just not a certain section of people. So really that's how it came about. But to take you back a little bit, one of our writers for the magazine went out and she interviewed 5 women
and it's
across
funny.
the GTA who have experienced this.
Yeah.
And so when I saw the article, that was, I think, issue 20, 2 years now, because we are now in 2019. And
2018?
It happened in 2018, January 2018, our winter edition. And so when I saw the article and these 5 women, they were from diverse backgrounds, and I thought, wow, like a light bulb went up in my hand. I said,
so that's how it came to be.
That's how I got the inspiration to do the documentary.
Through that interview.
That writer, one of our writers, she went out and...
Because I was going to ask you, how did you find these ladies?
Well, she did.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we said, this is a story that we need to take up. So go interview 5 women. We want diverse women.
And they really are diverse. Not only are they diverse in culture, they're also the Me Too. It's interesting because you have one.
Yeah, we have all the five cultural backgrounds.
But not only that, you also have different ways that the Me Too.
Different situations. There's domestic violence.
Yes.
There is sexual assault.
Yes.
There's workplace harassment.
Workplace
in
harassment.
The home.
Yeah.
There is, all forms of harassment. We wanted to touch all areas of it because
so not only did you go like multicultural in terms of the range of women, you also hit on a lot of different ways that people are being harassed and
exploited. Yes, we wanted to dig deep, and really the focus was not to. It was mainly to bring awareness and education.
And have their stories
and
be
have their
told.
stories be told, so it can help other women, because we know that there's a lot of women that are suffering in silence. So we want to be able to give them a safe space that they can speak their truth, you know, because they're looking for information, for resources. And that was that's what popped into my head. That's what I wanted to do.
Your purpose then of doing this documentary was really for them to tell their stories, but also to let other people know they're not alone.
They're not alone in it. Yeah, we're all together in this. And, you know, to take you back a little bit, I worked in this field. My background is social work. Like, I have a social work degree. I worked in women abuse environment 25 years ago. So, like, everything just came full force 25 years later. I mean, I did not stay in the field because, you know, as you know, that's a very dark area. And I was much younger. I didn't have the platform I have now.
I was going to ask you too, when you say it's a very dark area, how was it to hear these stories? It must have been very emotional to hear these really, as you said, these heartfelt stories, that these pain that they're feeling.
It was very painful. It was very upsetting, very emotional.
Very raw.
Very raw. I had to take breaks from the set. Like it's hard, but these stories needed to be told. My name is Shelley Jarrett. I am Guyanese. I am the creator of the project What About Us? These are the faces of us.
My cultural background is indigenous of the Haudenosaunee. My experience was being sexually assaulted by a man I knew.
My background is Jamaican, and my experience was abuse in the home by extended family members.
I am Canadian born of East Indian background. I was emotionally, physically, and mentally abused by my ex-husband.
I am Canadian born to parents who immigrated from India. When I was a little girl, I was molested by a cousin who was much, much older, and I suppressed it for many, many years.
I'm Rachel Cruz, and I'm Filipino-Canadian. I was sexually assaulted by a member of my community.
I am Canadian born with Bajan descent. My experience was workplace abuse in corporate Canada.
And I am Italian. I started to experience sexual abuse when I was 6 years old, and it followed me through my teenage years and adult life.
My name is Melissa Helen Kimberly Hood, and I am 7th generation Canadian born with Native descent. And I have experienced 32 years of abuse. I'm no longer a victim, but a true survivor.
I tell everybody, bring a box of tissues because you're going to need it.
Well, let me tell you, just a little minute that you had revealed to us,
yes,
I was already like saying, wow.
Yeah.
You could see that some of them are like, you know, I won't say proud, but they're glad that they're getting to tell their story.
Yeah.
Not glad, but in a way that it's like, finally I can get my voice to be heard.
Because I have the social work background, I'm a listener, so that helps. They knew that they can trust me in a safe place. You know, we did some initial interviews. I invited them to my home because it's safe. And they trusted us. And what we got out of them, I don't know any therapist would get it. And we're not therapists. We're just regular, everyday people wanting to tell some stories.
I think because not that the therapists have agendas, but I think it was just that they felt that real place, that they had that real place with you.
Yeah, comfortable. I made them feel comfortable, very safe. A matter of fact, a lot of the interviews my husband did with them, because he more does a lot of interviews, but he's very understanding.
How did you get them? It's good to tell the story in the privacy of your own home.
Yes.
But now these stories are going to be told to the world.
Yes.
So how did you get them to to be okay with doing a documentary, that's going to be very telling.
Right. Well, there's a process, of course, because I said what's in the magazine is fine, it's in print,
Yes.
but now you're going to be on the big screen. So we had to protect them legally. We had to go through some, legal papers, and they signed off to protect ourselves as well as protect them, because we want to focus more. We're not focusing on the perpetrators. We want to focus more on the women, their own story, their truth, what they went through, and how they feel about things now and how they want to help other people. So a lot of that we focus in that area, and so we had to go through, and they understood. And every stage of the process was a different legal document. So they're all very well protected in case the husband or the spouse or whoever come back and say, well, that's not true. Like what's happening right now with the R. Kelly situation.
You know what I also said too? There's the lady that wrote a book. It was her life.
Yeah.
But it was basically talking about some family members that were just, and they came back and they said, if you write this book, we're going to.
Exactly.
So she had to change it. She had to make it more fictional. Yes. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
These stories were just about their truth.
Yeah.
Like, this is what happened to me, and how they feel about it. But many of the women, they've moved on. I would say not all of them are completely healed, but some of them are, but it helped. But if they can tell their story just to help someone else, that was the main focus for me, is a lot of education. So my goal is to take the documentary into schools and colleges and universities and community groups, because there's where some of these things start, in the colleges, and just have like panel discussions, invite some men to come and talk about how their upbringing, why do they do the things they do, that kind of just re-educating.
And the funny thing, maybe on the next one that you do, because I'm sure you probably had
we have a lot of stories.
It might be where you then focus on some of the men and their reaction to this.
And their reaction, like I said, I plan to have, each time I screen it, a panel discussion. Because it's to start the conversation, speak to the government about resources. A lot of women, sometimes they know what to do. They just need resources. There's not enough resources. And so they feel alone in this. And so they know where to go, that kind of thing.
So where can we go to watch the movie, the documentary?
Well, of course, tomorrow is the unveiling of the media launch. We'll be revealing the movie trailer. Of course, we'll have a Q&A with the ladies. They all will be there, all 8 of them.
Nice.
Hopefully the media can ask them questions.
So where can people go to see this film?
In Fox Theatre in Toronto.
So May 9th is the actual
just
world
the
premiere.
Mother's Day weekend, that Thursday.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful gift. It's a red carpet. I think tickets are $30 general and $45 VIP.
And where can they go if they want to buy tickets?
Eventbrite.ca, and just look for What About Us.
Okay.
And tickets are limited, and they're selling like really fast already.
Get them today. Get them now.
Please get them now, because they're limited. And we're hoping that we can do a second screening. Should we sell out, which we are hoping, we'll do the Saturday matinee. So for those that don't catch it, and I think after that we'll pretty much hit the film festivals. And like I said, after that we already have offers in Edmonton, LA, Regina, Saskatoon. So we're getting offers to screen.
Well, thank you for doing this documentary, What About Us, and
thank you so
getting
much for having me.
8 incredible women to hear their stories. So I look forward to going to see the documentary.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
And thank you for stopping into the Lady Boss Show.
Yes, of course. Anytime. Thank you.
Yes. In the final moments, I have to thank my wonderful guest and you, the viewers. And remember, if you have an inspiring story, or you want to share your rags to ridiculous tale, or you're a lady boss with a business to promote, email me at Janise_Smith@hotmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Lady Boss TV1 YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at Janise with an S 1, and keep on smiling. Goodbye.